Hello. Today I want to talk about how accepting everything that comes our way, accepting fully, is the root that eliminates suffering from our life. How is that possible to eliminate suffering? And the simple answer is really to just accept everything completely, surrender to life without reservation. By that, I mean we don't create projections into the future, how things could be or what things should be. We accept what is. We reflect the mirror of reality in our heart, and we recognize this is what is happening. We cannot change it by the will of the mind. We cannot change it by overthinking it, by wanting it. We can only accept it. And by accepting it, we actually allowing it to be as is. And then we have answers on how to take care of it, how to deal with it, or how to let go of it. This is really the core of all spiritual teachings, I believe, is to let go of what we cannot change. We cannot bend the will of the universe to our wishes, right? I see everything as potentialities, right? We want that relationship to happen, or someone left you, someone broke your heart, and you can't understand why this is happening and why is it happening to you. And you wish it would have been different. You wish that life would have changed that. You wish that person would see you the way you want to be seen, the way you want to be loved, but it's not happening. He broke your heart. So it seems. And therefore, that lack of acceptance to the situation is the root of your suffering. And you can see everything as white canvases. This is how I like to see it. You want this to be. It's a white canvas. It hasn't been painted yet. But it looks so good in the heart and the mind that, well, it reflects from the heart. It starts from the heart, but it reflects through the mind that projects the idea that this is what you want to be. You want to paint that picture that you cannot see, that actually that picture not even existing. It's an illusion. It's a projection. And you have to really surrender to what there's a visceral desire to want this to be. There's a visceral desire not wanting this to be, yet it is. And the suffering is in not accepting it. When we don't accept it, suffering emerges and it creates emotional stress. This stress, it is that feeling of being lost because we want that, yet it's not happening. And the lost, where we are lost, is in the middle, right? We don't know how to negotiate this. We cannot bend the will of the universe, but we really want to do it. I'll give you a small example. I'm here in Bali, and they drive on the left side of the road here, which took me a while to really accept because I'm used to driving on the right. And I rented a motorbike. And one of the first times I went on the road, I was driving on the left. And all of a sudden, in front of me, oncoming traffic. And for a moment there, I was thinking, why are they coming this way? This is the wrong way. I was really holding on to this idea that I need to move forward on this side of the road. And then I came into awareness and I realized that actually that's the wrong side. I need to go to the left. That realization saved my life and also created the space where I don't suffer anymore, because if I would hit the traffic, it would be a deep suffering, of course. But the point I'm trying to make is that I accepted the will of the universe. I expected this is what's happening, and I changed course. And it's a small story to illustrate that this is actually about everything in life. When you are suffering, you need to change course. You need to come to awareness and accept that this is your reality, right? What you need to deal with is in front of you. You cannot change it. You cannot paint another picture to what already is. And there's no wrong or bad in it. It's just what is, right? There's no wrong or bad. There's no good or bad. It's just what is. What is just reflected in the mirror of reality. And once we learn to accept it, we can also negotiate it better. Answers will come. All answers will come when you understand the reality of what's in front of you. No answers can come when you are bending the will of the universe and not sure what to do with it because it just doesn't feel right inside you. And every time you feel a contraption, you feel like something is not right, something you don't feel right, something is making you feel a little bit of suffering, then you have to ask yourself, what are you resisting? What am I resisting? What is in the mirror of reality I am not accepting? And come back to reflect. You don't have to like what's happening. This is very important. When we accept, we don't have to like what's happening in front of us, but we have to accept that this is what is happening. It is, in other words, it is to surrender to what's happening. To surrender, which means just, okay, I accept it. That's just what it is. I don't like it, but I have to accept it. It's not about giving up on life. Surrender is not giving up on life. It's just accepting what life brings, even if we don't like it. And when we accept what we don't like, we can find answers to what to do with the situation. Sometimes it means to move on. Sometimes they say, you know what, my life's story needs to move on. And therefore I must accept this and take a step forward. Even though I don't like it, even though I would love that reality to exist, it's just not happening. And sometimes it means that we must change something inside us, perhaps not expect the situation to be as it is. Because expectations is really depositing your happiness on other people's behaviors, on other situations to occur. If my expectation would be met, then I would be happy. And there's a lot of friction to life when you have expectations. So many frictions because you cannot change anything outside of you. But you sure want to do that. You sure want to change those things outside of you by the mind, right? The mind is overthinking about it, wanting it. It's really, really good to absorb it. I'm repeating myself a few times in this video because I'm trying to attack it from all angles so that we can understand that whatever we want is not happening. We must accept it. And it's also good to recognize that whatever we feel is so important today, a year from now is not going to be that important. Everything is changing. Everything is transient. Everything is in motion. And whatever you cannot accept is holding you from moving forward, right? You need to be on that motion. The motion to life, the motion to everything change and evolve is a constant. It does not change. This is the constant of the universe. The only constant is that everything changes, right? So if we are at service to that, if we're going in the flow of that, then we can continue our life story. So, and also accept that everything is transient. So everything is susceptible to change. Whatever we hold on to sometimes is what's holding us from moving on to a better place in life. Everything is a lesson. There's no mistakes if you learn, but if you don't learn, it was a mistake. So if you take everything as lessons and recognize that life is about taking a breath to when things are not coming our way and saying, I don't like it. I accept it. Then perhaps you can be with that without adding any layers of stories, interpretations to it. You don't have to say to yourself, I'm sad now, or this is going to make me depressed, or this is going to lead me to this place or that place. It's not necessary. Just be with that feeling of surrender, of humility, of love to yourself, which is very important, to feel that love for yourself first. And to say, I need to move on. My life story needs to continue. Perhaps I would find out why this happened someday, why it's not happening. And coming back to the gratefulness, to be grateful is such a high form of energy. when we're grateful for something, for what we have, what we already have, not what we don't have. And only be grateful for the lesson too. That's also important. Sometimes it's hard to see it at first, but later on, you'll see that that lesson and the lesson of letting go was so important to your life, because now you've grown to be who you are and to represent more authentically your life story. So with these words, I hope it was helpful. I hope it was good and interesting. Definitely invite everyone to follow this channel, subscribe, like this, because then I can see that my words are touching your heart. Thank you for listening.